Today we are doing part 6 of the Cross Armory Legion slide to try to get it running, and that's coming up next here on Jesse B Outdoors. Welcome back everybody, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment down below if you like videos like this. First off, I like to kind of thank Cross Armory for sending this slide out. If you guys haven't followed this series here, they sent this slide out for us to try out, and we haven't got it running right, and this is part 6. So we got 5 videos in the series of this, tried a bunch of different things, and we keep getting failures to go in the battery and failures to feed on it. It's been a nightmare. So what we did in this video is I made one more change. Actually, we're going to do 2 more changes in this video before I call it absolute quits on this. So I was talking to Matt at RTT Guns and Gears on one of my videos, actually 2 of my videos, and he noticed the ejection pattern was kind of wild on it. So what I decided to do is, this had a complete parts kit from them. They sent me the slide and I bought the parts kit. And the slide parts kit was everything from them, including the steel guide rod assembly and spring here. And that's all still in this except for one thing. What I did is I got my PSA dagger slide here. This was my very first aftermarket Glock slide I had. This thing has had a tons of rounds through it, never gave me any issues. You can see it's missing the extractor in it though. What I did is I took the extractor and the plunger assembly out of that and I put it into here just to see if we have any difference. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this outside and fire it. If we still have issues, my last ditch thing I can think of is we're going to pull the dot off of this, and maybe the screw is too long and it's hitting on the plunger assembly down in here. That does happen sometimes. But first, I wanted to try a different extractor and plunger assembly just to see if that was the issue. This one's out of the PSA dagger. Let's take it outside and try it out. Alright, now we're outside here. We got the PSA extractor and plunger system in this. I am telling you guys right now, I am not wasting a bunch of rounds on this. We got Glock factory magazines loaded up with 10 rounds of 124 grain bullets. I've reloaded these and they're shooting everything else that I have. I plunk tested it in this barrel. They work fine. I've had people say it was my reloads. It's not my reloads. I can grab any of my other clones that I've built, or Glocks, or Beretta, or whatever I want, and I'll fire them just fine. So we got 10 rounds in here. I'm not even going to do a target camera. We're just trying to get this thing to function here. And actually this thing has made me so aggravated that I didn't even realize my battery is dead on the dot. But hey, that happens. I'm just going to go for the IPSC target. Since I have no sights on this, I'm just going to use the rear sight on it and check the function on it. Held back, but there's still one in the chain, or one round. Looks like there is some rounds left in here and it locked back. See what happens here. Alright, fired those just fine. I will fire another magazine just to see. I did heavily lube this time. I even lubed the guide rod just in case the guide rod was an issue. I oiled the barrel, the hood, the rails, where it meets the locking block. I oiled all that. So let's do one more magazine. Alright, another Glock factory magazine here. Same thing. Let's see how it goes. Fired all those just fine. I am going to continue. We'll do a third magazine. Third magazine, 10 rounds, once again, Glock magazine. Let's see how this goes here. First time I've had 2 magazines go through this. Yes, they were only 10 rounds, but that is a record. Hopefully, we're onto something. I'm going to load these 3 mags up with 10 rounds again, just to see what happens. Alright, Glock magazine, 10 rounds once again. Just doing the same thing, just function checking, seeing if this works or not. All those were just fine. I'm not even cutting out. Got another Glock magazine, 10 rounds. All right, we got those all done. We got one more magazine I'm going to put through it. See how it goes here. It's been chambering them all just fine. Think we found the issue. Let me give you my final thoughts. So what's my final thoughts here on the Cross Armory slide? Glad we figured out the issue. The way the specs were on this slide, I was starting to think the tolerances being tighter was going to be the issue. This is the exact setup I wanted. I wanted this slide on my Grit Grips frame. YouTube, this frame is serialized. We figured it out here. It wasn't the slide, it was the parts kit, and it had to be the extractor. I would like to thank Matt at RTT Guns and Gears. I'm going to leave a link to his channel down below. He noticed it. I don't know why I didn't pick it up in editing, that the ejection was all over the place. Well, we tried this in multiple frames I have, and it had the same ejection pattern on all of them. It didn't matter if it was this, my SCT frame, my Dagger frame, did not matter. It was doing the same thing. So I was like, hey, my PSA Dagger slide has the most rounds through it. It's got a well broken in parts. So that's why I took the extractor and the plunger assembly out of it to see. Now what I was going to do for a backup in case this didn't work, I was actually going to take the dot off, because sometimes the screw for the dot could be too long and it'll interfere with that plunger. Well, I was making the plunger go in and out and I didn't feel no tension on it. So I didn't think it was that screw. These Zulusi optics, I've never had an issue using their hardware before, but it can happen. But as you can see here, after the first magazine, we put 60 rounds through it with no issue. So I have a little bit more faith in this slide now. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this dot off, and we're going to do another video. I got some suppressor height sights from Strike Industries we're going to stick on here, and then we'll try those out, and then we'll put the dot back on it and get it set up the way I wanted it. But this is how I wanted this setup to be here. I wanted the copper barrel to go with the copper tactical pontoon trigger shoe in it, and I was going to do this all in copper and black. And now I can finally think I can move on with this project. Now I do have something else to show you. Now Cross Armory did feel bad that I was having all the issues with this. They actually sent me out another slide. And I got another slide here, which kind of works out perfect because I got another project I wanted to work on. And because they were so good, caring, and wanted to make sure I was taken care of, I said, yes, go ahead and send me another slide out and we'll see if that's the issue. So yes, I end up getting 2 slides from them, but I want to tell you guys, they tried to take care of me on this. They do not like all the bad videos that we had on this. They actually do act like they care for their customer and want their products to work. And for the price of these, it should be that way. Now what we're going to do is if you stick around this long, let's go ahead and slap this on there. This has got a parts kit from a different company on it, and it's got just a plain plastic guide rod in it, and it's got my PSA Dagger barrel that's got a tons of rounds through it. All I did was put a front sight on it. Let's load up a couple magazines and try it out. All right, bonus footage here. We got the other slide on here. You can see it just has the front sight. This is going to be fun. The first time I was shooting with just the rear sight off the red dot. This time I'm shooting off of just the front sight here. Didn't want to waste my time putting everything on it in case it don't work. So we do have the first 10 rounds here of the new slide with a different company's parts kit. Failure to feed like we had before. Fired the rest of them just fine. So we're going to put another magazine in, and like I said, they do have tighter tolerances. I haven't done a full review on these yet, so they might require a break-in. Now that last one, we had an issue on the first one, and then we're fine after that. Let's see what it does now. That could have been a primer. I'm using TruthSocial primers. which I've had issues before with them not working right. And I've had to put higher power springs in the gun, so I'm not even going to say that was the gun's fault. Alright, got one in the chamber. Let's see how this goes. We're probably right back on that round. Reset the trigger. Alright, fired the second time. Besides the primer issue, fired all those just fine. I got some rounds left here. I'm just going to load up the rest of these magazines and make this video a little longer and break in this one. Alright, I got 2 more magazines loaded up with 10 rounds apiece. That was all the 9mm I brought out. I was going to save the ammo. I was even going to do a video with this slide, and I was going to wait for it to be the next video, but since I'm happy the other one's running, I wanted to see if this one runs, so we're just doing this all combined into one video here. So let's make sure we can drop the slide. Drops, no issue with that. It chambered. Let's go ahead and try it out. We did have a failure to feed again. Alright, the rest fired fine. I got one more magazine we're going to try out here, and then we'll finish out this video. Failure to feed. Alright, fired the rest. Gonna give you my final thoughts on this. Alright, so what's my final thoughts here, or the final video here in this series with the Cross Armory slides? I think this one we got going perfect now. I think what I'm going to do is I'll probably order another extractor or plunger, or extractor in the rod system for this. I might get a hold of Cross Armory again and tell them what my findings are. They might send me another one out, but truthfully, I don't know if I want to put that back in here or not. I might just order another setup and stick it back in my PSA upper, leave this one in here. So I'm glad I think we finally figured this one out. Now, since they sent 2 slides out because they felt bad, this was the other project I was going to do. This is my PSA Dagger full-size slide. The slide I had on it was a junk slide from PSA I had. When I originally bought the gun, I bought it used, and somebody stripped out one of the holes in the top for the optics. So to me, it's kind of a junk slide. So what I was going to do is I was going to tear the internals out of that one and put them into this one. What I actually have in here is a Anderson Manufacturing Glock parts kit in this one. So what we'll probably do is we'll probably do another video with this gun, with this slide, and try it out and see how it's going to work together. It had a couple of issues on my grit grips frame, but I really want to try it out on this one because I want to get this gun set up the way I want it to. So as always, don't forget to check the links out down below. Down there I have links to Axle Hearing Protection, Gators Eyewear, and a bunch of other companies I like dealing with. Some of them got discount codes to save you guys money. Others are affiliate accounts that do help out the channel. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Leave a comment down below. We are One Nation Under God, and I'll see you all on the next one.